Good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to discuss other topic which is present in metallurgy. Okay. So before going to this class, I would like to say other important things which we have completed in the chapter. So actually, our chapter name is metallurgy. So up to now we discussed metal characteristics of metals and also differences between the metals and non-metals. Next thing we discussed terminology which is using in metallurgy like mineral, ore, gangue, flax, slag, like that. And also after that we discussed trussing of ore, or we can say trussing methods of ore, in that hand picking, navigation, magnetic separation, and also core protection process. These are the physical methods. And also we use what is that other method? Other methods which are using chemical reaction by chemical reactions. In that category, we discussed calcination, roasting, and also smelting. Okay, so up to that you are very clear. Today, this is very important topic which is present in metallurgy. So this is alloy. Okay, today's topic is alloy. Next, what is the purpose of alloy? Right, so one by one we are going to discuss, right? So I have already opened our ppt. Just wait. Now we are going to discuss alloy, very important topic. Okay, just wait. So I'm selecting pen. Right, so today's topic is alloys. Right, on completion of this period you would be able to know alloys and examples of alloys. So already we know characteristics of metals. So already you are very familiar characteristic of metals. So metals have malleability property, ductility property, next shining property. That is what is that? Metallic luster. Metals react with oxygen and hydrogen, diluted acid. These are chemical reactions. And also metal have high density, high melting point and boiling point. They are very crystalline solids. These are the characters already you know. Next, already we discussed distinction between the metals and non-metals. So, so already you know metals and non-metals differences. Metals have high melting point and boiling point. Non-metals low melting point and boiling point. Metals have high density, non-metal low density. Okay. So if you know characteristics of metals and also characteristics of non-metals, you are able to understand very well. So alloy definition. Okay, so alloy. See here, alloy definition: a homogeneous mixture of two or more elements having metallic property is called an alloy. Okay, so see here once again, I am repeating this definition. A homogeneous mixture of two or more elements having metallic property is called an alloy. So the material, the elements may be two or three or four, but the elements compulsory they have metallic property. Okay, so metallic property means it may be metal or non-metal, but homogeneous mixture compulsory it have metallic property. So that is called alloy. Alloy means maybe two are metals or two or three metals or other thing, non-metals also included in this alloy. That is very very important. So that is alloy definition. Okay. So next, alloys are solid solutions. Already we discussed in custom solutions. Okay. Alloy also example for the one solution, that is solid solution, and it is a homogeneous mixture. So alloys are solid solutions and homogeneous in molten state. Okay, they are homogeneous in molten state and homogeneous or heterogeneous in solid state. Maybe so. Yet liquid state or molten state, they are compulsory homogeneous. But in solid state, maybe homogeneous or maybe heterogeneous. So these are the introduction of the line. Okay. So next things here, alloys are made by mixing two or more metals. Okay, some metals looks more than five to prepare alloy, right? Some alloys have only four metals or three metals, two metals, or remaining extra non-metals. Alloys may contain non-metals also. Just now we discussed it. Okay, alloys may contain non-metals also. Alloys are highly resistant to corrosion, right? Alloys are resistant to corrosion. Alloys have more strength than metals. Alloys have more strength than metals. Alloys have low electrical and thermal conductivity. Alloys have low electrical and thermal conductivity. Suppose if you want to prepare alloy with low electrical and thermal conductivity, you can choose like nichrome, like alloys. Okay, so these are the alloys. So first thing you should note down alloy definition. Okay, here this is alloy definition. Note down this one, alloy definition. So and also I give here some examples. I'm writing examples also. You can write here. You can see here steel. Okay, brass. Don't worry, I'm using mouse. That's why so much problem to write. So brass and also branch also, right. Next, branch also, branch, BRANZ, branch. Next to nichrome. These are examples of alloys. Note down. Next to some properties of alloys. Just now I said. Note down. Right. So how they will prepare alloys? So alloys are prepared by melting the mixture of metals or electrolytic decomposition or deposition or reduction. So by mixing two metals in melt state, that is one possibility, and also electrolytic deposition also one example to preparation of the alloys. So these are the alloys. Next to purpose of making of alloys or objectives of alloying. Objectives of alloying. Why we are preparing alloys? First thing, to increase hardness and tensile strength of materials. Why we are preparing alloys? To increase hardness and tensile strength of metals. Next, to modify the properties like malleability, ductility, etc. of metals. Just now I said to modify the properties like malleability, ductility, etc. of metals. Next, to increase resistance to corrosion. Already I have written here. To increase resistance to corrosion. Next, to decrease the melting point. It is also very very important to decrease the melting point. Next, fifth point, to modify color to increase castability. Castability means so molding property increasing. So fifth point, to modify color and to increase castability. These are the purpose of making of alloys. Okay. Now important alloys are I have given example here. So before writing the example, so we should remember alloys properties and alloys properties. See here, alloys are made by mixing two or more metals. Alloys may be contain non-metals also. Alloys are highly resistant to corrosion. Alloys have more strength than metals. Alloys have low electrical and thermal conductivity. Next thing, purpose of making of alloys. So first thing, to increase hardness and tensile strength of metals. Second thing, to modify the properties like malleability, ductility, etc. to increase resistance to corrosion. To decrease the melting point, to modify color and to increase castability. That is purpose of alloying. Okay, so note down this thing. Right. So important alloys and their composition we are going to discuss. In this page, I am writing important alloys: brass, right? Brass, German silver, next nichrome, stainless steel, duralumin. Right? These five alloys are very very important, which are present in our syllabus. So first one, brass. Brass means which is a alloy of copper and zinc. Brass means it is a alloy of copper and zinc. Next to German silver. Okay, German silver means it is the alloy of copper, zinc, and nickel. Okay, so German silver means it is the alloy of copper, zinc, and nickel. Next to nichrome means it is the alloy of nickel and iron and chromium. So stainless steel means so iron plus carbon, and also we had some small quantity of other metal also. Duralumin means especially aluminium and also other material we should prepare to increase strength of the metal. Okay. So now we are going to discuss one by one. So note down this metals, this alloys. Okay, note down. Okay, right. See here, one by one we are going to discuss. So first thing brass, second German silver, third one nichrome, fourth one stainless steel, fifth one durable. Okay. So see here, here I am writing composition and uses of alloys. First one brass. It is an alloy of copper and zinc. What is the meaning of brass? It is an alloy of copper and zinc. Here I am writing composition. See here, composition copper Cu is 60 to 80 percentage. Okay. Next zinc Zn, zinc 20 to 40 percentage. Okay, only these two metals. So brass it is a copper and zinc combination composition. Copper is 60 to 8 percentage, 80 percentage. Zinc is 20 to 40 percentage. So this is the composition of brass. Note down this thing. Okay. So next, uses of brass. Okay. So uses of brass. First thing, see there, right? It is used in missionary pots and cryogenic systems. So first thing, this brass used in missionary preparation of the missionary parts and also cryogenic systems. Cryogenic system means the systems working at low temperature. Those are called cryogenic systems. So brass also used to missionary parts, preparation of the missionary parts, and in cryogenic systems. Okay. Next point, uh, this brass used in plumbing. Already know plumbing and also cooking utensils. Used in cooking utensils also. Okay. Next, biscuit, right? Cooking utensils. Next, making nuts, balls, and also wires, kinds, and also castings. Okay. Second point, brass is used in plumbing, cooking utensils, making nuts, balls, wires, kinds, and also in castings. This is second use. Third use, this brass it is using for making decorative hardware and also utensils. Okay, so hard decorative hardware and also hard utensils also. This is also very important use. Next, this brass also used for preparation of the pan blades, fan cages, and also motor bearings. So motor bearings are required to bearing some capacity, some weight. That's why this brass also used for fan blades, fan cages, and also motor bearings. Okay. So next point, copper in brass makes brass germicidal and also used for cryogenic carrying water. Oh, it is very carrying water. Right? Copper and brass makes brass germicidal and used for carrying of water. These are the uses of brass. See here, one by one, I am once again repeating. Brass, it is used in machinery parts and also cryogenic systems. Second one, it is used in plumbing, cooking utensils, making nuts, bolts, wires, ties, and also castings. Third point, brass used for making decorative hardwares and also hard utensils. Next, it is used for fan blades, fan cages, and also motor bearings. Next, copper in brass makes brass germicidal and used for carrying water. These are the very important uses. Note down. I will give time. Okay. Next page. German silver. Second alloy. That is German silver. German silver, it is a alloy of copper, zinc, and nickel. What is German silver? German silver, it is a alloy of copper, zinc, nickel. Copper percentage 50, copper percentage, zinc percentage is zinc percentage is 30, nickel percentage is 20%. So this composition is called German silver. What are they? Copper, zinc, nichrome. Right? This is called German silver. Note down this composition. Uses. Uses of German silver. First one, it is used in making spoons, forks, and also utensils. Okay, and also tableware. Simply we can say tableware like spoons, forks, etc. First thing. Second point, it is used in resistors. Okay, the German silver also used for marine fittings and also plumbing fixtures. Marine fittings means the fittings which are we using in ships are some uh, like okay ships or boats fittings. That is called those are called marine fittings. Okay, German silver uses next one. German silver also used in heating coils due to high electrical resistance. Right, this German silver also used for preparation of the heating coils due to high electrical resistance. Okay, this German silver also used in cutlery, coins, decorative articles, and in making ornaments also. Some making ornaments and also decorative articles and also coins, cutlery, etc. This is the fifth use of the German silver. Right? Once again, I'm repeating uses of silver, German silver. First point, German silver used in making spoons, forks, and also utensils. German silver also used in resistors. Next, it is also used for marine fittings and also plumbing fixtures. Next, it is used in heating coils due to high electrical resistance. Next, fifth one, it is used in pottery, coins, decorative articles, and in making ornaments. These are the uses of German silver. Okay, note down. I will give some time. Right. So we completed German silver uses. Next, nichrome. See, nichrome. Nichrome, it is a alloy of iron, nickel, iron, and chromium. That is nichrome. Right? Don't forget, nichrome means here no manganese, nickel, chromium, and also iron. So percentage is nickel 60 percentage, next to iron 25 percentage, next to chromium 15 percentage. So see here composition, nickel 60 percentage, iron 25, zinc 15. Okay, note down composition. Nickel 60, iron 25, zinc 50. Okay, next uses of nickel. What are the uses? Nichrome used in heating elements, in electrical stoves, furnaces, electrical heaters, etc. What is the first use? Used in heating elements, in electrical stoves, furnaces, electrical heaters, etc. etc. Second point, nichrome also used for making electrical resistant wires. Nichrome, it is used for making electrical resistant wires. Nichrome is also used in parts of boilers and also annealing, right? Annealing boxes. Annealing boxes means suddenly heating to a high temperature and suddenly cooling. That is annealing. So annealing boxes. Next, machinery exposed to high temperature. Also prepared by nichrome. Heaters, very very important nichrome heaters. Okay, these are the uses of nichrome. What are the uses? First one, heating elements in electrical stoves, furnaces, electrical heaters. Right? So next, making for electrical resistant wires. Next, also used in parts of boilers, annealing boxes, machinery exposed to high temperature. Okay, so note down these uses. Right, uses completed. Right. Next, stainless steel. Next to alloy is stainless steel. It is very very important. So it is a alloy of iron, chromium, and also carbon. Carbon is a non-metal. Okay. In definition we discussed. So the alloy that have compulsory metallic property. But even though we are adding non-metal. So that is example for the example. Stainless steel we are using carbon. So composition of the stainless steel, that is iron 78 to 88 percentage, chromium 12 to 25 percentage, carbon 0.1 to 1 percentage. Right? So this is the composition of the stainless steel. Iron 78 to 88, chromium 12 to 21, carbon 0.1 to 1 percentage. Okay, note down composition. Okay, okay, composition completed. Right, now uses. Stainless steel uses stainless steel used in chemical equipments and also automobile parts are manufactured. By using stainless steel, chemical equipments and also automobile parts are manufactured. Next thing, stainless steel used in making sinks, utensils, dental and surgical instruments, right? But dental and also surgical instruments also prepared by stainless steel. These are the uses of stainless steel. Note down that uses. Right. This is stainless steel. Next to duralumin. Okay. Next topic is duralumin. Right. Duralumin composition. It is alloy of aluminum, copper, manganese, and also magnesium. Composition is aluminum 9 to 5 percentage, copper 4 percentage, manganese 0.5 percentage, magnesium also 0.5 percentage. So this is composition of the duralumin, right? So aluminum is main. It's sorry, it's not 9.5. It's 95 percentage. Okay, so it is 95 percentage. Don't write 9.5. Okay, so 95 percentage. 95 percentage. So next to copper 4 percentage, manganese 0.5 percentage, magnesium 0.5 percentage. So this is duralumin. Note down composition. Right, next to uses. Uses of duralumin. First point, duralumin used in making of automobiles. It's very very important. Used in making of automobiles and also locomotive parts, automobile parts and also locomotive parts, and also cables also and cables, etc. Those are prepared by duralumin. Next, duralumin also used in aircraft industry and also spacecraft components. Duralumin used in aircraft industry and spacecraft components. Also. Duralumin also used in power lines, that means transmission lines, ships, consumer electronics, and also household and industrial applications. Right? So duralumin used in power lines, ships, consumer electronics, and household and industrial appliances. So these are uses of duralumin. Once again, I'm repeating. Duralumin is used in making of automobiles, automobile and also locomotive parts, cables, etc. And also used in preparation of aircraft and also spacecraft components. Next, duralumin also used in power lines, ships, consumer electronics, and also household and industrial appliances. Right? These are the uses of duralumin. Note down. Note down all of you. Right. See here, I'm giving small pitch questions. Try to answer it. Read it. What is question? What is the question? One. Alloys have A. Metallic property. B. Non-metallic property. C. Both. D. None. Which is the answer? So first thing we discussed in definition, alloys are homogeneous mixture and also they have metallic property, right? So which is the answer? They have metallic property. Okay, alloys have metallic property. This is first question. Next, see another question. Try to give answer. Second question. Which of the following is highly resistant to corrosion? What is the question? Which of the following is highly resistant to corrosion? A. Metals. B. Non-metals. C. Alloys. D. All of the above. So which is the correct answer? So alloys already know alloys highly resistant to corrosion. Right. This is the purpose. That's why we are preparing alloys. Right. So highly resistant to thermal and also electrical. That's why we are preparing alloys. Next, see here, brass contains how much percentage? See here, see all options. Give the correct answer. Brass means it is a composition of the copper and zinc. Copper is 80 percentage, zinc is 20 percentage. So that's why brass composition copper and zinc, copper 80, zinc 20%. Okay, this is one quiz type question. Next, to frequently asked for questions in this chapter, in this topic, define alloy, give example, what is an alloy, why alloys are strong. Next, write the composition uses of following alloys, brass, German silver, nichrome, right? So, and also stainless steel. Next, stainless steel, stainless steel. Next, fifth one, duralumin, right? Fifth one, duralumin, duralumin, duralumin also important. Next, define, give the components and uses of following nichrome, German silver. So these are the frequently asked questions, right? So up to now we discussed definition of the alloy, okay, definition of the alloy and also some examples of alloy. Next, purpose of alloying, why we are preparing alloys, that is topic. Next, important alloys preparation, that means composition and also uses of alloys, which are the brass, German silver, nichrome, stainless steel, pure aluminum. These are the very important uh, alloys. So preparation also very important. Right. So in we are in summary. So our metals, metal five metals: brass, German silver, nichrome, steel, and also duralumin. We discussed composition and also uses. Okay. So next, I'm showing all PPTs once again. See if you missed anything, write down all things. So this is recap. Alloy definition. A homogeneous mixture of two or more components having metal properties called alloy. I have written here examples: steel, stainless steel, brass, bronze, nichrome, German silver, etc. Next, purpose of alloys. Why the uses of alloys? Alloys are made by mixing two or more metals. Alloys may contain non-metals also. Alloys are highly resistant to corrosion. Alloys have more strength than metals. Okay, alloys have low electrical and thermal conductivity. Uh, Next, important alloys: brass, German silver, nichrome, stainless steel, duralumin. Just now said in summary. Once I'm an, once again I'm repeating. Why? Because if you see number of times, you can remember very well. So brass, it is a composition of copper and zinc. So copper, Cl composition. Next, zinc, 20 to 40 percentage. Uses it is in machinery parts and cryogenic systems, plumbing, cooking utensils, making nuts, bolts, wires, coins, and castings. It is also used for making decorative hardware and also utensils. Used for pan blades, pan cages, and also ball bearings. Copper and brass makes brass germicidal and also used for carrying water. That is brass. Next, German silver. It is composition copper 50%, zinc 30%, nickel 20%. Uses: baking spoons, forks, utensils, resistors, marine fittings, and also plumbing fixtures. Heating, it is also used in heating coils, which are having high electrical resistance, and also used in cutlery, coins, decorative articles, and in making ornaments. Next to nickel composition: nickel 60, iron 25, zinc 15. Uses: used in heating elements, in electrical stoves, furnaces, electrical heaters. It is used for making electrical resistance wires, and also used in parts of boilers, handling boxes, machinery parts, high temperature, which are used for high temperature. Next is stainless steel composition: iron 78 to 88, chromium 12 to 21, carbon release 0.1 to 1%. Using in chemical equipments and automobile parts are manufactured. Used in making sinks, utensils, dental and surgical instruments. Next, duralumin. It is also used for alloying aluminium, copper, manganese, and also magnesium composition. 95 aluminum, copper 4, manganese 0.5, magnesium 0.5. It is also used in making automobiles, locomotive parts, cables, aircraft industry, space industry, power lines, ships, consumers, consumer electronics, and also household and also industry appliances. Right? So this is our topic. So in metallurgy we completed alloys also. Right? So up to now we completed characteristics of metals, differences between the metals and non-metals, uh, dressing of ore methods, dressing of ore methods. Next, refining of metal, roasting, casting, smelting. Next, alloys. Okay, so this is our class. Okay, thank you.